Pointer. You know what's funny? Yesterday at our last practice, we was more like a shoot-around, I was talking to Stan Heath, who does the color for the television, and Tanya was out there with Manu together launching threes. And I said, Manu is a fantastic shooter, and Tanya's really better facing the basket, shooting outside shots. So the two of them were out there launching threes yesterday, right, Tanya? And Stan said to me, man, he makes them. I said, his jump shot has been very, very consistent throughout the year. It's his back to the basket game that is improving, but can get a whole lot better. The move he made at the end, I love it. Drove it middle, spun to the baseline, and kissed it off the glass. Very, very nice. But if he wants to shoot that all next year, he's going to have to beat Manu every once in a while.
Jim, the job you guys did defensively, I mean, they had little spurts where they seemed like they were getting things going, and then every time you had a way to clamp them down again. How encouraging a sign is that? Well,
as I've said all year long, the whole key for us is our defense. When we defend and rebound, we're normally a very consistent offensive team. Doesn't mean we shoot great all the time, but we have good ways to score. We have a number of different options. I haven't seen the final stat sheet. How many guys in double figures did we have? Because Davon had 15, Manu had 17. We had two guys with 9, another guy with 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I really consider that 5 guys in double figures. And Sheldon only had that one alley-oop dunk, but he had 4 assists. And that balance in our offense is very, very critical. DeAndre Burnett was terrific off the bench, and we're in one state of mind: survive and advance. That's the whole key in tournament play like this.
What do you say about Manu with Angel being out and him running the point the way he did?
Well, I've used this expression throughout my career. I've used it a lot recently with the team. And the expression is, there is no greater feeling than exhaustion. When you've put everything out on the line. And Manu gave it everything he had today. At the end, he asked to just take the ball out of bounds so he didn't have to catch the inbounds because he was absolutely wiped out. But now that it's over and he's exhausted and he looks back about how well he played and executed his role, I mean, he was making free throws. He had a turnaround jumper in the lane, which was a huge shot. I think we were up like 7 or 8 at the time. He put it to double figures. I mean, he just played a flawless game against a very athletic team. And I'm sure some of it had to do, he was playing against a young man from Belgium. So there's a little bit more pride in that. I tell our team, we have to show great pride in our program. He was showing great pride in his country. That it's not a one-on-one game, but I want to play really well. So when Oba Sohan calls home, he said, man, Manu was awesome.
What can you tell us about Angel and I guess the X-ray? Where's he at?
He didn't practice, this week after our game on Tuesday. He's hurt. It's sad, but it's college basketball. I mean, a lot of guys get hurt.
Any chance he comes back for the next one? Or?
We play Tuesday. Who knows? I think one of the things, and I try to tell him this in the ACC tournament because he really desperately wanted to play in the tournament. I said to him, look, the whole thing is get healthy enough where you actually can play. It's not going in there hurt where you can't dribble, can't pass, can't shoot. And like a real trooper, he went out there against Notre Dame and played really well. But at what cost? Did the wrist weaken up because of that? Now he hasn't been able to play in these last few games because of that. I don't know. That's the one thing. A lot of life, you guys know, is guesswork. You have choices. Play, not play. Am I hurt or not hurt? Can I do as well as I can do? And then the trainer tells me, hey, you can try Angel. So I try it. When he does well, I stick with him. But you could see in the last 2 days, he didn't want to touch a ball. His right hand was so sore.
What's it say about your team, Jim? I mean, obviously the disappointment was one thing about not getting in. You've seen Power 5 schools, when they don't get in, they don't want to be in the NIT. Their kids have had to fight now for 2 games. They've shown that they don't want this thing to end quite yet. They want to keep winning. What's that showing you about the character of your room?
Well, there was one message that we had. There were several messages, but the one message I thought was very important. We were a higher seed, and we're going to play at home. And our record at home wasn't as good as our record on the road. And I'm very proud of the road record, but I'm very disappointed that we didn't play better at home. We had several games at home. Honestly, I think you should win all your games at home, right? But we didn't. We lost 6 games. That's a lot of losses at home. So I asked them to show greater pride in our program and in our home court. And I thought the crowd today was terrific. I expected, like, my wife and a couple of my coach's children, and that be it. But I thought the fans really turned out and were very supportive. I thought the environment in the game was outstanding. And that was very important. I told our players, I don't care how large the crowd is, we need to cheer each other on. And we did.
You talk about DeAndre Burnett. Not just today he had a big game, but just this season. He's had peaks and valleys, or games where he doesn't play much or doesn't give you much, in other games he's really effective.
Well, I think he's a very typical freshman. You could look at all our freshmen and they fall into the same category. The 2 guys that have been, 3 guys who have been most consistent all year long have been Tanya, Manu, and Davon. Davon didn't become as consistent as he's been lately until he got over his injury. The next is Sheldon. He has been very, very consistent. Today is one of those days where he didn't get to score much. And then Angel has been one of those players who's been more inconsistent, and it showed in our team because he has such an impact on our team. But all the freshmen have had ups and downs. But like today, I thought all the freshmen actually did well. DeAndre, Omar came in, gave us a nice lift. I thought Jaquan was very aggressive. James Palmer driving to the basket, making that reverse layup. A couple of plays. When they first went in against the man-to-man, they played them even. The second time they zoned, and we got caught off a little bit off guard. And part of it was my fault. Jaquan called one offense, I called another, because I didn't know Jaquan had called for 34, and I yelled 44, and then they were confused, and a couple of quick errors led to fast break baskets. So I take the blame for that. But then I had to come back with our starters, and we still had some lapses against the zone until the second half. And in the second half, we changed the offense, gave Manu the ball, and just said, play. And he just made great decisions, and the other guys made some critical shots.
Jim, could you sympathize with Alabama was going through, losing a coach 6 days ago, and having to fight through that?
Well, I've known Anthony Grant. I knew him very, very little when he was at Florida, but when he became the head coach of VCU, we had some great battles. And he is truly an outstanding coach. And it's very hard at the high major level when everybody puts so much emphasis on getting to the big dance. And I want to make this clear, it's not negative, but it's a comparison. If you look at football programs around the country that make a bowl game, their record has to be, like, you have to have 6 wins. Like, go 500, and you can go to a bowl. And there are, how many bowls? Like 50?
39 this year.
39 bowls. So that how many teams get to go? Like almost 80, 78 teams get to go. Basketball, and 78 out of how many? Like
122.
122. So about 68%, that's rounding off in my head,
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
of all the football programs in the country go to a bowl game. In basketball, it's 28% go to the big dance. So, Anthony Grant, he gets another chance to coach. He's already proven he's an outstanding coach. Coaches at this level know it's not a job with a lot of security.
Thank you, Coach.